The Chief of Staff for Ontario's Housing Minister has resigned following a scathing Greenbelt report alleging he and the Ford government favored certain developers when opening up the protected land. CP24's Andrew Brennan is live with all the reaction tonight. Andrew.
Well, this being the latest part, Lindsay, of what's become an explosive and scandalous situation for the Ford government. Now, the Premier and Housing Minister Steve Clark have both said that they were unaware of any favoritism that was shown. And Doug Ford has gone to the point of saying the Premier has said that there was no favoritism shown. The Auditor General's report, however, indicated that Ryan Amato, who became the Chief of Staff for Minister Clark last summer, was the point person during the talks and discussions about land swaps for the Greenbelt. And then ultimately, over a 3-week period with a lot of secrecy in terms of who had control over what and who was allowed to hear about what, we did hear from this report that Amato was the point person. And in that 3-week period, he even received bundles of documents, parcels, and these coming from specific developers. And in the end, those that had access to Amato ultimately received 92% of the land removed from the Greenbelt was owned by these developers that had access to the now former Chief of Staff for Minister Clark. Now, one of the most vocal opponents of the, as he called it, the Greenbelt land grab was during the, at least the municipal election campaign, was then a candidate for mayor, Josh Matlow. The city councillor has been among, like I said, the most vocal in opposition to taking land out of the Greenbelt for development, something that the government has said is desperately needed for future housing. This is more we got from Matlow on the surprise resignation coming late this evening.
It's almost unbelievable that this staff member acted alone and is responsible for an $8 billion Greenbelt corruption scandal, and that this person should take the fall for the entire government. I don't buy it. There is no way that the Premier of Ontario, along with the Minister of Housing, couldn't have known what was going on. This is a convenient scapegoat, a fall guy for the government. This is a tactic that governments have used in the past when they get into trouble.
And there is trouble brewing. And even though Amato's resignation is effective immediately, one thing that was done the day following this scathing report from Bonnie Lesick, the Auditor General of Ontario, was the Ford government asked the Integrity Commissioner to look into what Amato was doing over the course of these discussions over land swaps during the proposals to change what parts of the Greenbelt could be removed. So the government, as I said, despite what the political opponents have been challenging, has said and maintained that there was no favoritism shown. And the Premier, again, Lindsay, indicating that he did not know anything of what was going on. We'll have more reaction from not only the opposition parties, but we've reached out to Minister Clark as well for comment. We will be bringing those to viewers as we get them. For now, we'll send it back to you as we await more on this developing story.
Yeah, and also CTV News tonight asking the Premier's office if he still has confidence in Steve Clark and Minister Steve Clark, and the answer being yes. Okay, CP24's Andrew Brennan.
Yes.
We'll get back to you in a little bit with more reaction. Thank you.